Hey everyone, this is Nathan Williams with BlackCurrent79.com, and I'm back here with another hand history review for you guys. So this hand was sent to me by Gleb from Belarus, and he's playing, this hand was played on PokerStars. It's a full ring game, but as you guys can see, it looks like we're playing about seven-handed. So it's actually going to play a little bit closer to a six-max game. Anyways, Gleb has the old ace-jack of hearts in sort of early middle position there. So let's just jump right into the action here. So, and once again, it's a 1 cent, 2 cent game, as you guys can see here, NL2. And Gleb actually has about 150 big blinds to start this hand. And Villain 9, I should say, who just opened pre-flop already, he's going to be the main adversary in this hand. And so, as you guys can see, the effective stack in this hand is going to be around 150 big blinds because Villain 9 covers. Now, before I do anything else, let me get into the HUD stats that Gleb gave me for Villain 9. This guy is the classic Maniac. He has stats of 64, 29, 2. That is VPIP, PFR, and aggression factor. As always, if you don't know what those mean, there's a link in the description below. They're HUD stats. It basically just tells you what kind of player type you're up against. This guy is playing 64% of hands, raising with 29%. He can have almost any two cards in this spot, so I'm going to highly agree with Gleb's decision here to 3-bet. However, I'd like it to be a little bit more. I think 18 cents should be the bare minimum here 3 times when you're in position. But honestly, at NL2, I would actually just make it even more here. I'd make it like 20 cents, 24 cents, because I think this guy will just call with anything, and I just think we're well ahead of his range. But yeah, I like the decision to 3-bet here. I mean, you can just call if you want. If you want to keep your variance a little bit lower, you can just call. I mean, there are a lot of people still left to act behind us. It does suck when you 3-bet and some nit wakes up with pocket kings on the button or something. But, you know, overall, I like the play here. I'd like to see the 3-bet to be a little bit bigger size, though, if you're going to 3-bet in this spot. So, luckily, it folds all the way back to Villain 9. Once again, he's the table Maniac, clearly a recreational player. Gotta love these kind of guys. They're awesome, and it's really awesome when you got direct position on them as well. It makes life so much easier. So what does he do? Oh, he comes in for the minimum 4 bets. Always interesting. Well, okay, so what do we put this player on at this point? Well, I think, you know, Maniacs, obviously, you can never tell what on earth they have, but I will say this. When they do put in the 4-bet here, I don't think this is ever like, this is not his King 9 offsuit or his 8-5 suited or something. He has something reasonable. Now, it definitely doesn't mean it's aces, kings, queens or anything. I think he can do this still with a pretty wide range. But what I'm saying is I think the complete bottom end of that range, I think, you know, some just total trash hand that he opened with, you know, Queen 7 offsuit. I don't think he has that hand. I think he'll probably still call the 3-bet a lot of the time with that hand, but I don't think he'll put in the minimum 4-bet. Let me know your guys' thoughts on that in the comments below, because it's a weird spot. Obviously, trying to read these guys, you know, what they can have is, I mean, spin the bottle. I mean, who knows, right? But that's kind of what I'm putting him on at this point, is something like a mid-pocket pair, a Broadway hand, a good ace, or a premium hand, if you guys catch my drift there. So anyways, Gleb, obviously, I think we just call in this spot. I don't think there's any point in 5 betting at this point because, again, we are 150 big blinds deep, and yes, Maniacs do get aces, kings, and queens also. We do have to respect that. We have direct position on the guy. We're getting, as you guys can see, 4.5 to 1 to make the call here. Just an easy call in position, and let's go to a flop. So it's obviously a pretty awesome flop. We smash it pretty hard with top and bottom with the backdoor royal flush draw as well. So the action's going to start with Villain 9. Let's see what he does. He checks. So what should we do here? I think there's just no question. You just bet for value here. What does he bet? 40 cents? I think it's a pretty good amount. It's pretty decent. About 2/3 pot, something like that. Yeah, I mean, as long as you're just getting some money in the middle here, it's definitely what you want to be doing. What does Villain do? He just calls. So we go to a turn. Turn comes with a 9. I don't think it really changes things too much. I mean, if he somehow had Queen 10, he already had us beat on the flop, so it doesn't change anything. I really don't see how that 9 really changes much, so we'll see how the action plays out here. Oh, look at that. The Maniac all of a sudden decides to bet roughly 1/5 of the pot for I have no idea. I have no idea why. These are recreational players. They do the craziest things. So what should we do here? Well, in my opinion, you should definitely be raising in this spot here. Again, he can have a wide range of hands. I think that with top and bottom, or top and sort of middle pair now, top two pair, I think that we're still way ahead of this guy's range, and we should be definitely raising in this spot here. Now, Gleb does agree with that. However, I'm going to highly disagree with his bet sizing. I think that we need, if we're going to be making a raise here, you need to make a pot size raise. You know, he has sucked us in with this little, like 1/5 of the pot or something. So when you mini raise only the minimum here, you're kind of just letting him, you're playing his little game of putting in these tiny little amounts and letting him, I mean, what is he getting on the pot here? He's getting like 8.6 to 1, I think, to call here. So if he's got a flush draw, for instance, or even if he's even got a naked queen, like with a gut shot, I mean, he can call, I think, given those odds. So I love the fact, Gleb, that you're raising here, but I don't like the amount at all. I want to see you make it like $1.50 here. Just ship all the money in and let him call it off with whatever nonsense he has. I mean, he can have, again, I think that we're way ahead of his range here. I think he can have any ace. He could have king queen. He could have flush draws. Obviously, he can have all sorts of draws on this board. So the raise is awesome, but just, you know, versus fish, you got to make them pay. You know, get that money in there. So, anyways, that's all I can just say on that. Let's just go to the river. The river is an 8. It seems fairly harmless. I don't know. I think we're still clearly ahead in this spot here. What does villain do? He comes in for one of these, I have no idea, bets. What even is that? I don't know, 1/8 of the pot this time or something. I think you definitely just get all the money in here. I don't see much else to say. Gleb does exactly that. And you guys are going to see some pretty hilarious stuff here. Wow. Very interesting. Yeah. That's poker, guys. Yeah, that's poker. Obviously, as we said off the top, this guy's a maniac. You can have any two cards. What on earth is he doing in the pot with pocket aces on that flop and on that turn? Guys, I have no idea. However, and stuff like this is just going to happen against recreational players because this is what they do. They don't play in a logical sense. They don't. I mean, I have no idea what he's thinking. You know, why is he even in the hand? I have no idea. But we just always need to be looking at the process in poker and are we making correct decisions along the way. Pre-flop, I think it was great. I think you can flat there if you want to lower your variance with a lot of players left to act. But I like the 3-bet as well, but make it a little bit more. On the flop, I think, Gleb, your play was excellent. Bet about 2/3 pot, excellent for value, good stuff. The turn is the point in his hand that I have the major problem with. So the fish, he bets the tiny little amount. We don't want to get sucked into his game. We need to make it a proper raise amount there, raise pot, which is actually almost all in at that point. And then if he wants to call with his pocket eights, you know, God bless him, you know, good for you, man. You know, like, but that's what we need to always be asking ourselves in this hand, in poker. Yes, this is a bad beat, and fish are going to bad beat you. It's you know, this is why they're so profitable to play against, is because we got a guy in here who still thinks his pocket eights are somehow good on the turn when we've shown all this aggression, and you're looking at that board with 4 overcards, and I guess he somehow in his mind thinks we're bluffing somehow. But the problem is we're not making the proper bet sizes. The turn, definitely, we needed to get way more money in the pot. But as played, guys, it's just a cooler. The other important thing is don't let this kind of stuff set you off. I know this is a maddening hand. You'll lose your mind. You just like, how is this guy in the pot? This is insane. Guys, remember the process. He is fighting the math. You never win in poker, life, or anything when you're fighting the math this hard. He had 2 cards in the deck to save his life, and God bless him, he hit one on the river. Good for him. Keep playing with guys like this, and believe me, you'll get rich playing poker. So, anyways, that's all I got to say on this hand, guys. I hope my analysis was helpful for you, Gleb, and for the rest of you guys that are watching this, and thank you for sending me the hand, by the way, Gleb, as well. As always, if you guys enjoy watching microstakes poker hand history reviews like this and strategy videos in general, Make sure you give this video a like, and make sure you also subscribe to my poker channel. I'm putting out brand new videos like this roughly once a week. Lastly, make sure you download a copy of my free poker cheat sheet below. It's called Massive Profit at the Micros. It's the top link in the description below, and it'll give you my complete strategy on how I crush these stakes. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. This has been Nathan Williams with BlackRain79.com.